Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's program. My name is Michelle Martin, and I am a certified international health coach. I work at Canopy as both an account manager, but also as a wellness expert supporting their holistic health and wellness initiatives. Before we get started, I wanted to review a few GoToWebinar items. The GoToWebinar interface has different sections under the View tab. There is a section for handouts, so you are more than welcome to download that handout right now if you'd like to, but there will be follow-up after this program. You will be provided the recording of the program and then the handout also, so you can wait for that email. It will be sent fairly soon, but feel free to go ahead and download the program here. We have a lot of information today to go through, and it's going to be interactive, absolutely. So I will be keeping most of the questions to the end, but I will be asking for input throughout the program. So I definitely want this to be something where you can go ahead and drop a question in the question box or comment, and we can discuss it at that time. But formal questions I'll probably leave until the end. Great, well, let's get started. First, I just want to say, take a few minutes to just get comfortable. Like, I want this to be a relaxing hour for you. I want this to be sort of your time. So if you've got your phone close by, just silent it so that you can feel like fully engaged in the program. As we move into the purpose of this presentation, first, just let me say the goal of meditation isn't to attain a permanent state of bliss, right? The goal is to sort of cultivate a state of well-being that is ultimately going to end suffering, which can come from consistent states of worry, fear, and rumination. And I'm certain there's a lot of that going on because there's a lot going on in the world, right? It's not just the pandemic. There are lots of things that have been on our mind. Let me give you sort of a definition. Meditation can be defined as a set of techniques that are intended to encourage a heightened state of awareness and focused attention. So meditation is also a consciousness, a change or shifting technique, which has been shown to have a wide number of benefits on our psychological and physical well-being. So we're definitely going to be seeing some of those health benefits here in a moment. But just to sort of go through what we're going to be talking about today is sort of the myths around meditation. I can tell you a little bit about my journey and what I thought meditation was and how it's shifted over the years. And I'm definitely going to be talking about physical and mental health benefits of meditation because really this practice has been around thousands of years in the Eastern world, but the Western world has really sort of is playing catch up. And also Western medicine is studying meditation. So there have definitely been lots of studies around meditation and the health benefits. And then we're going to get into the interactive portion. I absolutely want to do a meditation practice, so we will be doing that today, but I also want to give you a few more tools around breathing and in more specifics, deep breathing, because that is going to be really key to your meditation practice. First and foremost, I just want to sort of find out who actually has a meditation practice right now. So I'm just going to drop this poll in there. I'd love your input. Just let me know if you do have a practice. If you don't, maybe you've tried it and you gave up, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment there. Maybe you just had the idea of what meditation was, felt like you were doing it wrong. If anybody has ever seen the movie Eat, Pray, Love, there's a moment where Julia Roberts tries to meditate, and I think she gets through like a minute and it feels like an hour, right? So that could be your experience too. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. So drop in any last minute votes that you want counted. Thank you so much. I'm going to share that here in a moment. Great. So, this is really a variation, which I think is a healthy variation. Some people have tried it, maybe have continued to try it. For those of you, which is half of the audience, you haven't tried it. So this is really going to be something very new. And hopefully I'm going to be giving you some tools that really interest you into moving into the practice, not only short term, but long term too. And then we'll definitely address those of you who have tried it, but maybe it just didn't go as well as you would like it to. Because there are so many different ways to meditate and different types of meditation styles. So we're definitely going to go over that. But let's talk about the myths, right? I think the first myth, this whole idea that meditation is like this nothingness or this absence of thought. And the truth is, meditation is truly the act of mind self-regulation, because our minds are constantly moving, right? And much of what we're thinking isn't actually reality. We worry about things that technically haven't happened yet, may never happen. We fear things which are completely out of our control, or we're dwelling in interactions from the past, that rumination. So this type of mind chatter over time can have those negative health consequences, and meditation can absolutely help you regulate your mind and sort of basically flex this muscle to train your self-awareness and just practice this act of mindfulness. Second myth, meditation is a religious or spiritual practice. Yes, this is actually true for many, but not for everyone. So the truth is really meditation is a mindfulness tool. Some people use it for religious or spiritual practices, and other people use it for a health and well-being tool. So there's nothing wrong with that either. Practicing meditation really trains your mind to focus your awareness on the present, which can help you achieve a state of calm. This calm not only feels good, it is good for your health. And mainstream medicine, like I said earlier, is acknowledging this ancient practice, and the research surrounding it is growing. It's as a beneficial tool. The other myth, meditation takes too much time. So meditation can be done in 5-minute increments, honestly. This can be something that you just take 5 minutes to be in a space where you practice a short timeline of focusing your thoughts and energy in one space. Really, the health benefits are around the 10-minute increment time. So you can get health benefits in as short amount of time as 10 minutes. But of course, some people are doing this for an hour, maybe even more, maybe twice a day. And it depends on where you're at. This could be something that grows with you, and you decide to increase the timeline. You decide to increase the duration and timing. So this is your journey to create. There's no one way to do this. And that is absolutely something I want to stress. There is no one way to do this. And so having somebody tell you that there's a certain way to do meditation and that's the right way and this is the only way, that's just not true. You're going to have your own particular journey for meditation, which is absolutely the right way to do it, right? So let's talk about the health benefits of meditation. There are many. Right now, we are experiencing really an unprecedented number of people moving through anxiety, burnout, stress, depression. So the first thing that meditation can assist with is the reduction of stress. Really, it can improve symptoms of stress-related conditions, including things like irritable bowel syndrome or post-traumatic stress disorder, even fibromyalgia. And honestly, stress is unavoidable, but meditation is a tool that can assist with how we perceive and react to a stressful situation. So, managing and monitoring how we are moving through stress, meditation is a tool to assist us with it. So I say the best way to look at that is to see it as there are certain things in our life that are going to be unavoidable. Because things are happening in life and we don't have control over everything. And the idea that we could have control over everything just adds to the stress, right? So we have to be able to let things go. And meditation can really assist with, letting go of that stress and getting into a state of calm, and actually can assist you with that mind self-regulation so you're not so reactive and get into a space where small things become really big, or even derailing you off of a situation where things could escalate and maybe a communication that has gone wrong. And if you're in a reactive state, it can escalate. So really meditation is going to be a tool that can really help you sort of stay in the moment, regulate your emotions, things of that nature. Regular meditation helps with the reduction of anxiety related to mental health issues like social anxiety, fears, obsessive compulsive behaviors. So if you're kind of in this state of anxiety and you're not alone, there are many people moving through a state of anxiety, consistent chronic anxiety. Meditation can absolutely assist with shifting that state of anxiety into a state of calm. Or, as you're moving through an anxious space, and maybe you're not able to just have a moment to meditate, where I'm going to be giving you some tools around breathing that are going to assist with sort of that reaction that we might get when we become anxious. And depression, meditation and depression, it has been around for a very long time. However, we have seen a huge increase in the numbers. Depression statistics before COVID were 8.5. And so in the spring of 2020, they jumped up to 27.8. And the spring of 2021, they jumped again to 32.8. Currently, we're about, this spring, we're about a 27% people self-identifying as anxious. But here's the thing with that. Statistics are based around those who are self-identifying. So we can assume the number is higher because many people need help, but they don't actually reach out for help. The fact that we do need this help, meditation is actually proven to assist with, reduction of depression. So something to be thinking about if you're moving through sort of that stress and a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, burnout. Meditation can absolutely be one of those things that you start to incorporate into a healthier lifestyle to help support you through difficult times, because we are moving through really difficult times, right? Some other things we want to take into account is improved memory, better focus through regular meditation may increase memory and mental clarity, and these can help fight age-related memory loss and dementia. So absolutely, they've been studying the brain and what the brain looks like in a meditative state, and they are only good things. So as we grow older, we absolutely want to have really sharp cognitive thinking and memory, and healthy brains. So meditation, again, another physical health tool for you to be considering. Increased attention. Meditation absolutely helps with focusing our attention for a duration of time. So over time, this will assist with our day-to-day attention span. And so if you do have any sort of attention deficit, meditation, again, you'll have to build up, start with small timing increments and move your way up. But it's definitely something that can assist with that. Enhanced willpower. So we're talking, again, things like tobacco cessation. I'm not saying that meditation will remove addiction, but it can assist with sort of that willpower that comes with moving through a healthier state. If you're working with a professional regarding addiction or substance use, things of that nature, this could be another tool that could help you get incorporated into a healthier lifestyle. And also better sleep. Truly, meditation can shorten the time it takes to fall asleep and improve your sleep quality. I love to meditate before bed, and that can absolutely assist with helping you fall asleep and have deeper sleep. Now, mind you, it does not replace any sort of negative lifestyle behaviors that you might have before you go to bed. Things like too much alcohol, maybe a lot of technology, maybe you've been working in your bed and not taking the time to sort of create a sacred space in your bedroom. I have a whole program on sleep hygiene, so definitely it is something to just take some time to assess your sleep hygiene practices and if they are enhancing your ability to have a better night of sleep, because sleep is truly essential to physical, mental health. It assists with aging in a positive way. So you definitely want to have a very good night of sleep and support that sleep through 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Stress that a little bit. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about cognitive thinking. Definitely one of the types of meditation is called mindfulness-based meditation, and has been shown to sort of give the brain a boost. And to give you an idea, the three characteristics of mindfulness, the first one is the intention to cultivate awareness repetitively. Sounds very meditative, right? Second, attention to what is occurring in the present moment, observing thoughts, feelings, sensations as they arise, and consciously letting them go. Again, very meditative. Third, viewing occurrences with non-judgmental and a curious mindset. And part of that with meditation isn't about not thinking anything. It is about if something comes into your mindset while you're meditating, it is perfectly fine to acknowledge it, but it is also perfectly fine to release it and go back to your state of calm and present in the moment. So really that state of the practice of mindfulness and meditation really go hand in hand, and again, improve upon your cognitive thinking. Minimizing chronic pain. Meditation can reduce pain and boost emotion regulation. That's really what it's about. It's sort of assessing your pain in degree, and also, again, sort of assisting with that idea of acceptance of the pain, but also releasing of that pain. So together with medical care, this may help treat chronic pain. Not necessarily meant to be the end-all be-all or the cure. It's definitely another tool to assist with that. Absolutely reduces your blood pressure. This is scientifically sound and can be proven immediately. When somebody's meditating, take a before and after. Blood pressure decreases during meditation, and over time, people who meditate regularly, this can reduce the strain on the heart and blood vessels and prevent heart disease. So a regular practice of meditation has absolutely been shown to help with heart health. So if it's something that you're moving through and you're looking for another tool, meditation can absolutely assist with the reduction of blood pressure and elevate your mood. Truly, you know, that extra calmness, that extra oxygen to the brain, oxygen-rich blood to the brain is going to absolutely assist with the elevation of mood, and has been shown to really enhance compassion and empathy. Meditation really can help us better understand ourselves, find our best selves, you know, that calm, non-reactive self, and increase positive feelings and actions towards others. You know, when we're in a good state and a healthy state, a positive state, we share that. That rolls over into our behaviors, our communication, and just our overall reaction with the people around us. Okay, I'm going to actually do another poll. Just curious, you know, especially since there's 50% of you, 51, who are not meditating as a regular practice, how do you relax, revive, reconnect with yourself, with your calm, you know, to get in a good space? Great. I'm going to close the voting here in a moment, but if you don't see something here, definitely drop it in the question box, and I'll let people know what you're doing to relax, revive, and reconnect. Great. Thank you so much for your votes. I'm going to close that here in a moment. And I'm hoping everybody can hear me okay. I've only had one person comment about the audio. Great. Thank you so much for your vote. I'm going to share that now. Wonderful. Okay. You know, I feel like outdoor activities, so good for you too. It's not just the physical connection that you have with going outside. It's the idea, meaning physical activity, just the physical experience, right? Because you can go outside and use all of your senses. You know, just that the smell in the air, the sounds that you hear in nature. You know, it's just an overall experience. And in a lot of Asian countries, they have a practice called forest bathing, and we're definitely seeing a little bit more of that here in the States, is this idea of going out and forest bathing, which is just the purpose of immersing yourself in nature using all of your senses. So it looks like 35% of you are already sort of going in and doing that, and kudos to you for that. See lots of self-care support, spend time alone, which you'd think it's so interesting. You would think that people would be wanting to spend more time in their community, right? Because we've been on lockdown for a little bit, right? But there is something to be said about what we attain from time alone, especially for us introverts. I'm an introvert. I get my energy from time spent alone. I love being with people, don't get me wrong. I love interactions like this. I love hearing from people and their experiences. But for me to revive and reconnect, I have to spend time alone so that I can kind of be in my thoughts, meditate, do all those kinds of things. So definitely found that really interesting. And definitely the hobbies, you know, it's so good to be able to go do something that brings you joy. That's what hobbies are. They bring us joy, whether it's something really physical and adventurous, or if it's something that you're just taking time that's intricate and involves intellect, you know, whatever it is that makes you filled with joy. That's the purpose of this, right? Okay. Let's take a breath. I just want to acknowledge that it sounds like most people, the audio is good. Thank you for confirming that. I'm always kind of concerned about that when that happens. So let's take some time to talk about breath. I've noted a few bullet points here why deep breathing is so important. However, most of us, much of our day is spent with that shallow sort of fight or flight breathing. But deep breathing is really going to be essential for your meditation practice. So let's review a couple of breathing techniques to help you get started. But first, I want to just say, I want you to stay calm through the breath. You know, controlled breath is interesting because you'd think it would be like we breathe all day long. There's no big deal to the breathing. We don't put thought into it. But when we start thinking about the technique of a breathing, of deep breathing, we sort of get in our heads about it a little bit. And there's no shame or blame in that. I'm just really calling it out for what it is. So as I give you these numbers and I give you these techniques, I just want you to just stay calm through the breath. And you can modify. Your breath is really intimately connected to your nervous system. So use it to your advantage when you're feeling stressed or calm to help calm yourself down by slowing your breathing and extending both the inhalation and exhalation. I think that's going to be sort of key with helping keep that calm, right? You know, is modifying that extension and exhalation to fit your need and grow it, because it might change over time. You know, something right now that seems like, oh, I can't do that, will become very commonplace after you do it quite a few times and you start getting into a habit. So with anything, you know, you start small and you build your way up. So this will quiet your nervous system, having a deep breathing practice and keeping that calm rather than reactive sort of breath, and help you. This is going to help you also make just, you know, more effective decisions about what, you know, is needed in your life right now when you're in a calmer state, when you're you're not having that fight or flight breathing, which can sort of start your brain into an anxious state. And the other thing I want to mention is your posture. Like, don't forget your posture. This is another key factor to breathing. If you think about, you know, when you're hunched, your lungs are collapsed in and your diaphragm's collapsed in, and really rolling those shoulders back and opening up your diaphragm and the chest just to allow for maximum breath is really going to be key. And be vigilant with this posture, because it does have many health benefits. It's not just about good breath. It's about your frame, and over time supporting your frame as you get older, enhancing your balance. It also assists with internal organs and having them function efficiently and appropriately. So definitely be thinking about your posture, not just from, okay, it doesn't feel great to slouch, right? And you don't want to have that little hump on the back of your neck when you get older. So having that posture and supporting your frame, and it also helps with self-esteem. There's absolutely studies around the mental health aspect of having good posture, rolling your shoulders back and having that confidence that you feel immediately when your body is open. And it's also, there's some vulnerability there too, right? So practice, practice, practice. Just be vigilant when it comes to that posture. Okay, so let's talk about those techniques. The first one I want to give you is sort of the image that you see on the screen. It's called square breathing. And square breathing is when you take a breath in, and it's just a nice pause. You can sort of forego these numbers again if they are bothering you, but it's really about an extension of an inhale for one side of the square, a pause for the second side of the square, an exhale for the third side of the square, and a pause for that fourth side of the square. So as you're sort of taking this time right now, I want you to go ahead and give this a shot here. And again, if the number bothers you, just forego the number and just think of the pause. And if you want to close your eyes and do this, you can. You can picture a square in your mind and follow that square with your breath. But let's just take a couple of these to do some nice deep breathing. And again, nice deep breath in, pausing, and exhaling, and pausing. Very simple technique, right? So if you did this a couple more times, you're going to start to feel that nice calm effect that you're getting right now, probably already in your head, and you can probably feel it in other parts of your body. And I think it's a very meditative practice to actually take note of that. You know, just be mindful. How is my body reacting to this new tool? And it probably feels really good, right? So this is a good thing to sort of put in that toolbox of a technique that, hey, this technique feels amazing. It has health, both physical and mental health benefits to this. I really want to start incorporating this into my practice. So let's talk a little bit about another tool, which is called 4-7-8. And this is when you breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, and you exhale for 8. Again, don't get too caught up on the numbers. I really want this to be a practice that you feel comfortable with, right? So if you want to do a 3, 6, 7, you can do that. It's really helping you focus by counting with the numbers, right? So if you're breathing in for 4 and holding for 7 and exhaling for 8, it's helping you concentrate on the numbers. And again, you can switch them up to a 3, 6, 7. You could do even shorter than that, right? You know, so do what you feel comfortable. But let's practice this. This is one I would say. I mean, the square breathing you can do anytime. You can do this in your vehicle while you're at a stoplight. 4-7-8 isn't something I want you to do at a stoplight. I only want you to do 4-7-8 when you're in a place that is safe and doesn't have a lot of commitments. You know, you're not having to rush off or get up, because you can get kind of lightheaded with this technique. And that's why I only want you to do this 3, 4 maybe times in a row. Because we're going to do this and you're going to really feel how much oxygen is going, rich blood is going to the brain, right? You're going to feel that sort of lightheadedness. So let's take a practice. Again, get comfortable. You're in a good space here. Take a deep breath in. Again, don't focus on the exact number of 4-7-8. Do the number that works for you, but breathe in, hold, and exhale. And if you can, use that really nice audible exhale, especially with something like this. So let's do another one. Again, don't get too fixated on the number. Do the number that works for you. Breathe in and hold and exhale. Okay. And again, you're going to be feeling things in your body. If one of the things you feel is a little bit of that lightheadedness, that is perfectly normal. And again, why I want you to sort of navigate this really individually. If it doesn't feel good, if you don't like the way it feels, then go back to that square breathing and have that be your tool. I like to do the 4-7-8 technique before I go to bed. This actually is something I feel like helps me sort of wind down quickly. And then it helps me get prepared for my meditation because I like to meditate before I go to bed. And so these, again, are tools for you. Not all tools are going to resonate. You're going to pick which tools work for you in this moment in time. And again, they might change over time. And that truly is the beauty of a meditation practice, a breathing technique, or any tools that you have for your well-being, is that we change over time and our tools change over time. Doesn't mean you get rid of the tool. It just means you add another tool to the toolbox. So whichever analogy might work for you. It's just really about having a lot of tools at your disposal. And then, of course, being really curious about the tools that are out there that you might not know about. And 51% of you didn't necessarily know about meditation. So this is something that you're experiencing and hopefully will become a new tool for you. Okay, I think it's time for us to talk a little bit about meditation style. Somebody did have a question about breathing through the nose and mouth. My technique, what I would recommend is breathing through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. And again, sort of that technique of that big exhale through the mouth just sort of gives you that full release. The nose has a tendency to allow you to breathe a bit deeper than doing that mouth breathing, which can also sort of lead to lightheadedness. So we don't want that. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the different types. I want to talk about the real basics here, which are these categories here on the screen, which is silent, mantra, guided, and guided imagery. So I'm going to talk about the different types and styles of different meditation. So when we talk about silent, in silent meditation, that is when you are possibly doing this alone, but you could also be doing this in a group setting. It could be, and when I say silent, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have music or a tone that you can follow. It just usually means that there is no lead to this. There's no um, uh, somebody who's leading the meditation themselves, or you're not listening to a guided meditation. So it's really meant to be you focused internally on your mind and self-regulating through the tools that you have, either through your breath, which is going to be your anchor. Truly breathing will be, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this when we start our meditation. But breathing and breath is really the key to that meditation and the key to the anchor to your meditation, and will be really a simple, essential tool to help a successful meditation practice. So that's going to be sort of one example. Mantra is more so when you can either state something of a statement, or you have a facilitator that's, and that could be something that's on an audio, or if you are with a group of people and there's only a mantra, it could be a tone also. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And then guided and guided imagery. Guided, of course, is when you have either a facilitator guiding you through the meditation with a group, or you are listening to a program on a platform, or music that has a guided facilitator taking you through the program. What we're going to do today is actually going to be a guided meditation. So I am going to lead you through the guided meditation. The guided imagery, which I'll talk about also with the different types, but it could be also called guided guided visualization. But guided imagery is when you have I love guided imagery, and I'm just going to say this. This is something I do often. It is when you can basically meditate with the purpose of placing yourself into, maybe it's your favorite space. I love to meditate at the beach. I'll literally take myself, not literally, but I will figuratively take myself to that space in meditation because it's calming. I enjoy the space and I will use my senses to sort of fully immerse myself into that moment of what would be the imagery, not, presently my, my bedroom carpet or floor. So it's really about sort of that imagery behind where you can guide yourself to be in a meditative state. So those are three very simplified ways of sort of categorizing meditation. What I want to give you is a little bit more examples of the types of meditation. You may have heard of mindfulness meditation. In mindfulness meditation, you basically pay attention to your thoughts as they pass through your mind. You don't judge them. Again, this is the mindfulness techniques I talked about earlier. You don't judge the thoughts that come, become judge the thoughts or become involved with them. You just simply observe what kind of comes into your thought process and take note of the patterns. Is there something that repetitively comes up? But you also have to then release that thought and go back to that in the moment space, that and again, the deep breathing, that anchor to get out of the space of sort of recreating what comes through the mind, because you don't want to be thinking about, say, your grocery list or the fight you had with, your spouse or partner. You want to be in that space, and it doesn't mean that these things won't come to mind. It is really truly about acknowledging them and releasing them. And this practice, this particular meditation, combines concentration with awareness. And so you might find it helpful to focus on an object or breath. Again, I think breath is probably the simple and easiest because you will probably want to close your eyes and sort of relax. But this is where you're going to be sort of observing bodily sensations, thoughts, feelings, but then of course releasing them. And this type of meditation is good for people who don't have a teacher or guide, and can be easily practiced alone. That's mindfulness meditation would be considered much more of that silent meditation, right? That space when you're alone, being guided. That's very different than the mindfulness. The mindfulness meditation is really that being involved with your own thoughts and being centered in that space. Another example is focus meditation, which involves concentration using your 5 senses. For example, you can focus on something internal, like your breath, of course, again, that anchor, or you can bring in an external influence to help you focus your attention. Counting the breaths, you can view a candle flame if you don't want to close your eyes, and maybe that would be helpful. Or focusing on, a fountain or something that brings you calm. So it's going to be different for different people. But this type of focused meditation is much more seen in a silent meditation. So again, this would be you alone with your thoughts and space and self, actualization, and those types of practices. Going back to the mantra, this again is using your repetitive sound to help clear your mind. Again, it could be a word, phrase, sound. One of the most common being Om. You may have heard that being used with meditation and a spiritual practice. But the mantra can be spoken out loud or quietly. It doesn't have to be Om, and it doesn't have to be externally. Although people find that chanting a mantra for some, can really assist with that deeper level of awareness. Something about that vibration in the body can help sort of focus. And it's just a good practice for people who don't like silence and enjoy repetition. So if you have that self-regulation and something like repetition, repeating the same mantra or hearing the same tone assists with keeping your focus, then a mantra might really be something that would resonate with you. Some other are progressive relaxation, also known as a body scan meditation. Excuse me. Progressive relaxation is a practice really aimed at reducing tension in the body and promoting relaxation. And it's also used a lot with Qigong. For anybody who's done Tai Chi or Qigong, this is something that is used quite a bit for people who use this practice. And oftentimes this form of meditation involves slowly tightening and relaxing one group of muscle and throughout the body, and at time, you know, just sort of addressing where you're kind of carrying that stress or tension. And this really helps your mind and body acknowledge that tension and actively release it. So it sort of helps your mind get a bit more control of what's happening to the body and addressing it, and can assist again with that chronic pain by allowing your mind to acknowledge that pain, address it, and release it. In some cases, you can imagine a gentle wave flowing over your body or through your body to help release the tension if you don't like the idea of tightening and relaxing muscles. This form of meditation is often used to relieve stress and help you unwind before bedtime. And I have practiced this. I took Tai Chi and Qigong some time ago and was encouraged to try this practice, and found it really very relaxing. I also was instructed to imagine yourself breathing in really light, that's the best way to describe it, light breath, light energy into your body, and exhaling anything dark that you might have inside your body. So you're basically visualizing the inhalation of light energy and then visualizing the exhalation of dark energy to just sort of help cleanse the body. Obviously, this is something that may not resonate with you, but it really what it is helping you just get into a very relaxed state, and it's part of part of the Qigong belief in clearing the body. So going and that can be the progressive relaxation or body scan, can be silent or guided. I obviously would do this silent, but there are definitely guided meditations around progressive relaxation. Another silent or guided would be that imagery or visualization, which I spoke about earlier. And this just involves, again, imagining a scene vividly and using all of your senses to add as much detail as possible to that visualization. Another form of visualization meditation involves imagining yourself succeeding in a specific goal, which is intended to increase your focus or motivation. And I can give you an example of this. This is something I didn't realize I was doing at the time, but when I was in high school, I was on a dance team, and I wanted to improve upon my jeté jumps. It's a leap in dance. And so I would visualize myself having the most perfect jeté jump. And it absolutely improved my jumps. Another example of this is there are professional basketball players, and probably not just basketball players, probably a number of sports athletes, professional sports athletes, that use this technique to visualize the perfect three-pointer or visualize a higher hurdle jump or the perfect pole vault jump. And doing this repetitively, and this is, again, these are commitments. These are things that over time, these are long-term type of commitments that you create for yourself. And I can absolutely say they make a difference. And they've been studying these professional athletes to show that they do make a difference. And that can just be seen even in a placebo type of environment, where if you believe you can do it, you can. And even if it's just mentally, doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be physical all the time. If you want to improve upon a certain area of your life, whether it be mental or physical, visualization, meditation can really help with that. Many people who use visualization meditation to boost their mood, reduce stress levels, and just promote inner peace. So if that's what you're looking for at this moment in time, then it could be the meditation that's best for you. Okay, so we're going to start stepping into our meditation, this interactive component. Today, again, we're going to be moving through a guided meditation. You're going to hear my voice at times, which may include reminders to breathe deep, to center your focus with breath, meaning like to anchor your breath. And I'm also going to be repeating some helpful mantras that you can use also to repeat if you need some help with focus. During the meditation, if you feel your mind beginning to wander, again, just go back to breath. That's going to be your anchor. And so if you have any moments right now where you just want to sort of wash away the day, get comfortable. I'm going to have some music in the background to assist with this. If you want to lay down, if you have your feet crossed and you want to connect them with the floor, if you want to change your seating, if you want to close your eyes, this is your meditation to do what you want to do with it. So I really want this to be your time. So take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes if you'd like to now. Get comfortable. This time is for you. There's nowhere to be. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, again, breathing in through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth, giving yourself that nice audible exhale. And as you're doing this deep breathing and feeling your body and mind relax, take a moment to observe what might come into your consciousness. And again, it's okay. Just release it and move back to breath. Breathing in and exhaling out. And as you're breathing deep, acknowledge how your body feels. Roll those shoulders back. Is there tension somewhere? Acknowledge it and release. If you're having a hard time focusing, repeat these mantras internally. I am healthy. I am calm. I am safe. I am strong. I am healthy. I am calm. I am safe. I am strong. As you breathe deep, allowing that oxygen-rich blood to flow to the brain, to the body, accepting that gift, allowing yourself to feel calm and present, feeling the gratitude of that breath, breathing in deep and exhaling. Focusing on your breath again, remember your mantras. I am healthy. I am calm. I am safe. I am strong. Breathing deeply through the nose, taking in that beautiful breath deep, and exhaling audibly through the mouth. Again, breathing in deeply, and exhaling audibly. And as we sort through our thoughts, what comes into consciousness and releasing them, and we start to come out of this meditation, just sort of slightly move your body, rock back and forth, roll your shoulders back. Sort of gently give yourself a hug, maybe some self-massage. Just allowing your body to reconnect to the world and consciousness. And open your eyes. I'm really hoping that meditation felt wonderful. I mean, really, that's the goal, right? Is to come out of something feeling calmer, rested, reconnected, more in tune with your body and yourself. If you feel like you want to add some comments into the question box, I'd love to hear how you felt that experience went, especially since 51% of you have never really tried meditation. Did you feel like it was hard to sort of stop that mind chatter, or did you feel fully immersed in it? Did you feel the deep breathing was a good anchor? Yeah, getting some really good comments about feeling relaxed. That's wonderful. I hope the mantras helped also. I think if for anyone that was having a hard time to focus, a hard time focusing, having those just quick positive mantras can really help with that too. I can see people are ready to take a nap now too. Yeah, and of course there are some, it's sometimes it is very hard to stop your mind and get it to turn off, right? I'm including some resources here. These musical elements here have been proven. They've tested these this music, and has been shown to reduce blood pressure within 60 seconds. So these are proven techniques that can help. And for those of you that had a hard time winding down, maybe listening to music before you go into meditation can be helpful, right? Now, mind you, these are both modern and classical. They are not in any order. They're meant to sort of assist you where you're at in this moment in time. If you don't like classical music, you can try the modern music. If the modern music is too electronic or whatnot, maybe classical is the better fit for you. So these are just meant to be tools for you to use. And again, to put them in your toolbox, right? Here are some other resources around meditation. These are recommended by Emma Sabala. She's a PhD at Stanford University, so she has been studying some of these meditations, and these are her recommendations. So if you have one of these apps already, fantastic. If you don't, which it sounds like many of you don't, and you want to try an app to help you meditate, you can do that. You can also go to YouTube. There are a lot of meditations on YouTube that you can sort of check out also. A couple more minutes to just answer questions. I can see there's one here about can we listen to musical selections while meditating, or only before? Yeah, just find a music that's right for you. My suggestion is music without lyrics, because you can tend to end up repeating the lyrics in your head, and really the focus is more so to be present, not necessarily be thinking about lyrics, right? Good. Okay. Yes, for those of you that have Kaiser, someone just mentioned here, the Calm app is free. I believe that's for most Kaiser coverages, so I don't know if that's changed this year, but I think that is still a benefit, and absolutely an awesome benefit to have. For those of you that have Life Balance subscriptions, there are discounts on meditation apps. For those of you that have smart devices, there are some that are already embedded in your smart device. So just poke around, see what you might already have on hand, which is great, right? Yes, somebody confirmed it is still a benefit for Kaiser, so fantastic. Some nice comments about the mantras being helpful. Create your own mantras if you'd like. They don't have to be the ones I repeated, just whatever is positive and can kind of help you focus. Great. Yeah, and I'm getting some really good comments about how it was helpful, and that 10 minutes is totally doable, right? You can schedule 10 minutes out of your day, even 10 minutes before bed. Just finding ways to fit it in your current lifestyle. And then if you want to increase it to 30 minutes and have a 30-minute meditation or an hour meditation, it's yours to play with. And again, I did not go over all the different types of styles in meditation. There are dozens of types of meditation. So it's not just the mindful meditation, or it's not, just the image guided imagery. There are so many different types of meditations out there. So seek out which meditation works for you specifically. And you're going to find a lot of different types on those apps. And so find what works for you. I've only kind of grazed the surface of it. But what's really going to be key is if you like a silent one or if you like a guided one. For some of you, the mantras are really going to be key in helping you stay focused. So play with it. This is really meant to be your journey to meditation. And I'm so excited for those of you that are going to be first timers really sort of incorporating this. Um, can't thank you enough. Take care of yourselves. I know it's been a rough few years. I wish you the best on your journey. All my best to you. Take care.